Hi, I hope you are doing great. Today I want to ask you, how many devices do you think that your end users manage in your organization? Let's say that there is one device per user. Sometimes there are two devices. So the question is, how do you think that or how do you handle, how do you manage the confidential and sensitive data that they manage in their mobile device? Nowadays, the users, they want mobility. So they want to get access to your organization's resources and data from anywhere. So how do you handle, how do you manage these type of applications from your end user's perspective? Today in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do it with the Microsoft solution. My name is Arnold Martinez, and let's go with the video. So let's talk about SuperMAM. Why do I call it this way? Because it's a MAM is an acronym of Mobile Application Management. And this is the way on how Microsoft used to call this solution for help you and your organization to control the applications and data that is managed in the corporate applications, or getting access to organizations' resources like email, for example. So one of the things that sometimes I have discussed with the clients that I've worked with is, what about if the users, they don't want, they are bringing their own device, okay, and you don't want to manage their devices, you don't want to enroll their devices to your mobile device management solution. So what options do you have? Well, let me tell you that at the beginning Microsoft called this mobile application management, but now Microsoft has changed it to Intune application protection policies, which in this case are a way to protect your organization's data in terms of managing the actions and the access to applications that are like in a whitelist from your organizations that are allowed to manage your organization's data. So one of the points here that it's important for me to be clear is that when we talk about application protection policies, we are talking about the protection based on identities, not on device, which in this case, when you have a mobile device management solutions, you are controlling the device itself and additional parameters. But in this case, when you are using Intune application protection policies, or MAM, you are managing the identity itself. What can happen, what's going on with the applications when there is a separate, for example, you want to get access to your corporate email using the Outlook application, for example. I'm going to show you in the next demo how to manage to differentiate when someone is getting access to, for example, your personal data or your personal email address, like in Outlook or something else, and you also are using the same application like Outlook to get access to the organization's data, to the corporate email. So based here, you can configure, and I'm going to show you from the two sides, okay? From the admin perspective and from the end user. I'm going to show you how to configure it in a simple way. So, but once you configure the Intune application protection policies, you can set, for example, to require a PIN, okay? So every time that an end user is going to open the Outlook application or an Office application like Word, or Excel, and it's trying to reach and get access to some confidential data or just corporate data, you can require that every time that an end user is trying to open this application, requires a PIN. Okay, that's something that you can configure to require it. Another point is that you can also control what the sharing part. What does it mean? It means that you can control, for example, what information or from what applications you can copy and paste information. Okay, I'm going to show you in a demo how to see that. You will see that, but you will have to control them on selecting, for example, I want to let that applications from Word, I don't allow it to copy to, for example, to Notes or another different type of applications like in this, like Samsung Notes or something like that. Because another point that you can control is the storage. Okay, you can select, for example, if the end user will be able to save the data on a personal storage, which in this case shouldn't be allowed, but you can allow, for example, to the end users to save corporate data to SharePoint or OneDrive. So you can specify what permissions, what will you allow in your organization. And this is really important to have this type of control. So you will see that in the demo. Now, another point is that the solution for Intune application protection policy is independent to the mobile device management solution. This is really important because I have seen some clients, some customers that I have worked with, they already have another applications or another mobile device management solutions like Mobile Iron or Iron Watch or many other that exist on the market. Another question that I receive from customers is, okay, I already have my mobile device management solution. How can I do to manage the application portion with Microsoft Intune application protection policies? Is that possible? The answer is yes. Independently of the mobile device management solution that you could have in place, you can also take advantage of these powerful capabilities Microsoft provides to you. You can be using a third-party solution. You can, if the device, you don't require to enroll the device in order to use the MAN application policies. And that's something that is powerful for you because you will have the capabilities to control what is going on, what can happen with the applications in your organization, to control if they can copy and paste and export data from your managed applications. Another point is that you can also have different or segment different requirements in terms of security. If you have non-enrolled device, you can have additional or a more robust, more secure policy in terms of application protection policies, more to restrict in a more specific way for non-enrolled device. If you have a managed device which is already enrolled in your organization, you also have applying some security configuration, security compliance policies that are also in place. So maybe because you can integrate, right, the Intune application protection policies with the mobile device management solution, which in this case could be Intune. So they can work together and you can integrate them and just configure them to allow them, if the device is a managed device, then you can let's say have a lower policies, less restrictions, just requiring some controls like the PIM and all of that information. Okay, on this demo, I'm going to show you how you can configure the Intune application protection policies in your tenant, in your organization. You will see it's a very simple process. You will have to go here and open a browser and go to the portal.azure.com. Once you are there, you can search for the specific blade here and type Intune app protection policies. Once you are able to find it, you click here on the Intune app protection policy. For this console that I already have added this as a favorite for me easily accessing it. As you can see, you have the Intune and you have the Intune app protection. If you want to manage your mobile devices, you can use your Intune portion. If you just want to implement Intune application protection policies for your mobile devices, you can just come here and to the Intune app protection section. Now, remember, you can work together. You can make them to work together. But for this purpose, let me go here to the Intune application protection policies. Right here, you will see some policies that I already have in place. As you can see here, I have policies for Android devices, for this type of platform, Android, iOS, Windows 10. And as I said, you can also create different policies depending on the state of the device. If it's a device that is managed or a non-managed device. Or even Windows 10, if it's a device that has been enrolled or a device that has not been enrolled. So let me go and create a very simple policy that you can do for both, for your iOS and your Android. For demo purposes, I will select the Android section, and I will put the Intune App Protection Policy for demo. Once I have this, click Next, and right here you can target the type of device. If this policy is going to be assigned to devices or to identities, but the device is in managed state or not, because remember that Intune application protection policies, it's based on the user identity. But we can also enhance that and select, for example, all the applications that are used in device that are not managed. Then we can select the type, the specific application that we want to control. Remember, this is from the admin perspective. We are working now from the admin perspective. So for making it easy, let's configure here on the Outlook. We select the Outlook application. Sorry. We select the Outlook application and click on select. Once we have that, we can also select another applications, like in this case, I want to select Word. Okay, I want to select, for example, Excel, which are the ones that are easy, more common to use, let's say. PowerPoint, and that's something that you also have to select here. Once you have the application selected, at this time we do not have custom apps, but you can also integrate it, because application protection also have the grab solution that allows you to, if you create your applications, you can also integrate them with Intune application protection policies. Now, in the data protection, I won't go to each of these details, but the ones that are important for you to know is that the type, for example, the action that you want to allow. If you allowed your Android device to use, Android backup or not, or if you want to block them. Okay, we can select block and send organization data to the applications. Remember, we can manage if we can allow to select information from your managed applications to non-managed applications. So for this purpose, I would allow only to manage applications. Okay, you can exempt an application if you want to, and one of the things that you need to consider is, for example, you can select restrict, cut, copy, and paste between other apps. You have these options. Blocked, you do not allow to copy and paste. Policy managed apps, okay, you can allow to do them copy and paste, but only from policy managed apps. Okay, and this is between applications. Okay, and the third option is policy managed apps with pasting. That means that you can only paste information from your managed app to another application, but not both. You cannot copy to the managed app, only from the managed application. Okay, we have the encryption sections that you can select based on your needs, and we click next. After the data protection, we select the access requirement. Right here is where you can use and say, okay, I'm going to require a PIN for accessing the application. It will be complex, it will be simple, and minimum length, and if you have all the capabilities also available from your device, you can use fingerprint instead of PIN. So that's something you will have to see based on your scenario. Okay, and you can specify other topics aquí, right here. And the conditional launch is okay. The condition has to be in compliance. I mean, you need to accomplish these. The max PIN attempts. Okay, what happens if they try 5 times? Okay, they need to reset their PIN, and they will be asked for their password for the identity that is used in the application. Okay, the offline grace period and all this information that you can select. right here also, you also have the option to jailbreak, to block or no devices that are root or jailbroken. You also have the option to integrate and select different options. Like for example, the threat level, you can integrate the application protection policy with other device threat capabilities and options that third party or partners with Microsoft. So once you have that information, the next step and the last step is to select the group where you will be assigning this policy. Right here, you can search for the groups that exist in your Active Directory. Remember that for assigning these, for example, we have a conditional access device state demo. I can select this and just select the group and click next, and it will be assigned already to the group that we have selected. And right here you can see, drill down, scroll down, and see the options that you have selected before. You can modify this. Remember, most of the time is you do a planification on the things that you want to do, but there will be some pilot time, testing time. Just create a policy and test in one or two devices that you want to try. Once you have that information, you have the capability to manage it. Now, I told you in the video that all of this information you can also manage and create them for Windows 10 computers. Okay, Microsoft is unifying this management console into another one that is called Endpoint Protection Manager. So if I go here to the Endpoint Protection Manager, it's a new console where you will be able in some point to take that into an application protection policies and manage them only from this portal. Okay, once you have the portal, the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center, you can come here to the application section. Once you have in the application section, you also have the application protection policies that we have already configured here on the previous portal. And you will be able to see these are the same, but it's just Microsoft consolidating the management portals for you, making it easy for you to consolidate the things and action activities that you need to execute in order to manage your mobile devices and your endpoint in this case. Okay, on this demo, I'm going to demonstrate you and show you what would be the end user experience when you have or your organization have configured the Intune application protection policies in your organization. So let's suppose that the screen that you have here is the end user device. Once you have configured the application protection policy, one of the requirements in order to understand and interpret, translate all the information that you have configured in your Intune application protection policy is through this application that is called Company Portal. The Company Portal is an application that you will have to download. Company Portal is an application that you will have to download in the end user device. So also the end user will be able to see here on the devices, for example, I have here the user and the device that is being managed, the identity that is managed by the organization, okay? And as you can see on the ownership type, it's a personal device. But in order to understand the application protection policies, you will have to download the Company Portal. Okay, now that we have the Company Portal application, now let's see what would be the experience from the end user perspective. Let's suppose in this device I have configured my Outlook application. In this Outlook application, I have two profiles. I have one that is personal and another one account that is the corporate account. So the natural behavior would be, okay, the end user opens up the Outlook application. As the device is being the identity is managed and the application is managed by the organization, not the device. The identity and the application is managed by the organization. It requires to the end users to set up a PIN. That's a PIN that can select depending on the configuration that you have selected. For my purpose, for my demo, I have this configured 4 digits and 1 characters. And this is why, because as you can see, I have configured many accounts here. This one, the first one, is in Outlook account, which is a personal account. And the second account is my msdemo.online account. This is my corporate account used for demo purposes. And based on that, based on the information that I'm showing you, let's suppose, for example, that here we have an email from ISI of the Alex and has received an email with an attachment from ISI. So the point here is that if I am able to see the information that has the document, but also let me open the document. And once I open the document, I will try to see what the application protection policy does. What alternatives do I have? First of all, we configure, for example, not to allow to save this document in a location, which is corporate in this case. This document is from the corporate, from the organization. It's not allowed to do a save as on a location that is not trusted, or in this case, managed. Which are these? OneDrive from the organization and SharePoint should be the 2 only options allowed to save this document. So first of all, let me try to save to this, click on this device. As you can see, this is disabled. Okay, let me try to save in a Dropbox. Not possible, okay? And for example, if I want to save this to OneDrive personal, it's not possible. But if I go to my OneDrive from my organization, yeah, it's easy. Bingo. There you have the option to save. So it's very powerful, the solution. And also, let me see if I can just copy some information here. Let me edit from this document. And let me just copy this information. Let me cut this, okay? And now let me go to, let's say, Samsung OneNote. Open up the Samsung Notes. Create a new one. And let me try to paste the information that I was copying from. And as you can see, it said to the end user, your organization's data cannot be pasted here. So this demonstrates how can I copy information that is from my personal. From my corporate information, it's not possible. Now let me go to my personal email account, which in this case is one account from Outlook. So let me just repeat the same steps, and let me just copy information from here, copy here, and let me try to paste them right here. Let me delete one, just to make sure that you believe and see that it's possible. Now, from personal information, I can copy whatever I want. From documents that are from the organization, is the control that you have for the end user. They are not allowed to copy and paste and extract information from your corporate. But this also doesn't interfere with the end user experience. The end user experience will be the same. So as you can see, this is a powerful solution where you can continue using and practicing with your infrastructure. So what do you need in order to have this solution implemented in your organization? First of all, you need an account in Azure AD. Second, you need a license. You need to assign a license to the user account. Remember that this solution is protection identity based, okay? So you have to assign a license. The license Microsoft Intune can come in the can come in an Office 365 business or enterprise subscription. My experience is that most of the clients they acquire, let's say, the E3 subscription, which comes with Microsoft Intune, where you can use the mobile application or the Intune application protection policies. You can also use the Azure Active Directory premium features like conditional access to that you can also integrate and make the solutions more expanded solutions and have additional capabilities. And also, as you will see, all these features are integratable. I mean, you can also integrate with Azure IP. You know, when I face with customer, when I talk to customer, they ask me, okay, there are other vendors, other platform, other solutions outside. Why should I select Microsoft Intune? And one of the things that I like to mention is that if you want to compare, right, the solution by solutions, one feature to another features, honestly saying, there are other solutions that might have more features, more flexibilities, more capabilities than Microsoft Intune. If you try to compare just a mobile device management solution. But the beauty and important part that you have to consider when designing your infrastructure, your security, your MDM solution, is the integration capabilities. So based on what the mobile device state, for example, what can I do from the mobile device state? What can I do from the identity perspective? If I detect some threats from the identity that is trying to get access through my mobile devices, what can I do with that information? So from the integration perspective, you have to be aware of the solution that you are going to select. Now, what else? With Microsoft Intune also you can manage, but this is just, you can also use the application protection policies with Windows 10 and integrate it with something that is called Windows Information Protection. And the Windows Information Protection is a solution that allows you to also have that control of how to interact with personal data and corporate data. How to separate that information and how to manage from the data perspective, if it's confidential, if it's corporate data or personal data. So you can also use the Microsoft Intune. Now, maybe you have seen the Microsoft is also now separating and unifying, let's say, the solution for managing mobile devices. Because with Microsoft Intune, now with the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center, you have the options and the capabilities to manage not only your mobile devices, but also your Windows 10, especially the Windows 10 devices, okay? And this will be like also like an integration between Microsoft Intune's capabilities and System Center Configuration Manager. And that's the beauty of Microsoft, always improving and making the things and the solutions easier and better for you. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this video and the information that I share, the demos that you saw. And if you would like to receive additional information, not only information but strategies and tips like the ones that I'm sharing with you, please subscribe to my channel, and I will be sharing with you all the things and knowledge and experiences that I have shared and in my experience as a consultant. So until the next video, remember, become the best version of yourself every single day.